together.
Well, why'd you stop?
No, because I was already talking and it would be in the middle of it. But I'm saying that, you know, you just put me on the spot like that. But yeah, we were talking about when we first started dating, or
You want me to jump in here?
Yeah,
All
jump right in, sir.
Double Dutch. I'll jump in now. Okay, so when you, first of all, ladies, tip, fellas, I'm sorry, gotta put it out there. And I guess this goes both ways, so it's a kudos. You know, everybody gets the opportunity to get in on the secret. But if a guy really wants to be with you and he's checking for you, you'll hear from him every day, one way or the other. Text something. There's 24 hours in the day.
It's not a one-sided thing.
Yeah, it's 24 hours in a day. You'll hear from that person if they're really checking for you. So first off, but when you're dating, like in our situation, it's interesting because again, kids from a previous marriage, single mom at the time, kids from a previous marriage, technically single dad at that moment. Whenever I have my kids, I'm trying to so trying to coordinate dating time was interesting, to say the least. Fellas, you might even have to spring that too, having businesses and things. But the key is always, if you're checking for somebody, you will make a way, whether it be time, what have you. So, you know, whether it be falling asleep on the phone at night, oftentimes I'd get home and I'd spend, you know, when I'm with the kids, I'd be with the kids, and then when they go to bed, that's my now time to get to know, you know, my future Mrs. Right. Okay, tell me this, and we'd spend hours on the phone until I'd fall asleep and that kind of stuff. But when we started spending time at each other's homes, because again, I can't marry you. You know, those people that have been married before, once you've been divorced, you don't want to go down that road again. So it's got to be for sure to a T. I've got to know you in and out and know that I'm cool with this, and kind of go from there. So I needed to know her home life and all that stuff. So what are you saying?
I'm gonna say you think he has to live with you before he can marry you.
Oh yeah, but I got kids involved, so you couldn't, you know. I've got to check off all the boxes before I could even introduce you to my children.
We dated before.
We dated for a long time months before I introduced you to my kids.
We dated for a year before. It was a year, so everything that we did is almost like we had a time frame on it, or we said, okay, after a year. Did you say that?
A year what?
You said after a year we'll move in together. My lease was going to be up on my apartment. So I guess everything turned out to be almost a year, because after we moved in, and we got married a year later.
It was over a year.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't move in together until...
we moved in together...
after March or something like that.
We moved in together March 26th. We started dating March. I would say 26. Not that you were counting, but I was counting. So anyway, go along with it. When you have to drive, I was living in Snow Mountain. Do you want to give the little story about Snow Mountain?
She was living in the hood, y'all.
No, I don't.
Those Jamaican people can know, like Beanie Man. What did they say? Get. Yeah, you know the song.
I am not.
Beanie Man's song called Slam, and that's all we'll say about that. But yeah, she was in the hood. She was straight in the hood, like
I wouldn't call
people
it that.
walking around. If people walk around at midnight, all up and down the street.
No, New York, they do that all the time.
We're not in New York, young lady. We're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, I love
in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia.
I love Snow Mountain. I love Snow Mountain. That's home for me.
Snow Mountain is cool, but call it what it is. Call a spade a spade.
What happened for you to say it's the hood?
Oh, you know, other than the corner boys and stuff like that, and you know, right there, the little gas station, they run it. And anyway, but long story short, spending time on a kids-free weekend, enjoying ourselves. I think it was the first time it happened. It was a kids-free weekend. We were there at the house, and just saw some people, random people, running through the back, and just heard gunshots. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And like clockwork, this one was on the floor in no time, flat on her stomach,
Blue.
like Spider-Man. She crawled from the living room almost to her bedroom closet in like 3 seconds flat. And I just hit the floor like, what?
Looking at him like, come on.
I didn't know the drill, people. I'm sorry. I was not accustomed to what was about to go down.
I wasn't accustomed to it, but that's the thing, though. No.
That was just the first time, people. That was just the first time. There was another occasion where...
Woo! Oh,
Do we need to go into that right now? I don't know.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
Listen.
You got to date people and meet them where they're at in their surroundings, and kind of go
That's
from
not
there.
even nice for you to talk about. What did you say? I dropped this.
You crawled like Spider-Man in 0 seconds flat. You was over there. And you got the scar on your leg to show for it too.
Listen. What I say? Flight or fight? How it goes?
Yeah. Fight or flight.
Yeah.
Your reflexes are
Boom,
on
to
point.
the floor.
On
I'm
point.
moving. But yeah, when we first started, it was automatically for me like, okay, there's something about this guy. Like, okay, all right. He was like, okay, I think I told him, I said, when I get off work, I'm going to give you a call. As soon as I got off work, he was like, okay, let me call this guy. Something was drawing me to him. Like, and I'm not that type of person. I'm quick to say, nah, I don't want to be bothered. Because, you know, when you already been down that road to where guys, it's just like, I don't want to be bothered. I have my children to worry about. I have my job. I have other stuff that, you know, I could spend time on doing. But I guess he was the one. So from that day, before he knew it, I knew he was going to be my husband.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo at that particular
Listen.
moment. Even though I'm Mr. Right,
Listen.
Mr. Right for life, I
No.
didn't have the memo.
So what did you say? What did you say when? Because when we started, he was saying, you know.
Oh, I was
let's not
hashtag team
listen to
single.
him.
Hashtag let's just
Yeah,
live in the
hashtag
moment.
don't fall in love.
Hashtag
all
let's,
of this.
enjoy
Let's not
time.
what did you say? Let's not put any
Hashtag no
on
labels.
it.
You know, I was doing my thing, people. I was doing my thug dizzle.
What thing you were doing?
I was just enjoying being single at the time, you know, for some years. Again, having come out of a marriage, you know, over 10 years, it was just good to be enjoying single life for some years as well. And I wasn't ready to give it up at the time, or at least I thought I wasn't. But the Most High had other plans. And so did she. No, I'm joking. The Most High had other plans.
Yeah, I was saying that I wasn't gonna get married again. I wasn't thinking of
Yeah,
getting
I wasn't.
married
I knew I eventually may go down that road again. I just didn't know it would have happened right there at the time. Excuse me. As it's getting darker
So
behind us.
what did it? Why? What happened?
She hates when I say this, people. But like, you know, as guys, we all talk about it. You know, me and some of my homeboys. You want somebody that's caring, nurturing, that's a ride or die. Culturally, our culture is connected. You're Jamaican, I'm Jamaican. So little sayings I said and things that I said or you said just clicked. Like if I bust a little quick joke or said something or made a sound, you knew exactly what that was, and we would laugh, and I wouldn't have to explain it, or vice versa. So when you're equally yoked culturally, it makes it a lot easier. You're a Virgo. My mom's a Virgo. Super nurturing. You remind me so much of my mom with that nurturing selflessness quality that I just love having you around
This
me.
man be looking at me and saying, Sonia, calling his mom name like, I'll be like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing. I'm a mama's boy, so having some of those qualities,
He's thinking of his mom.
having some of those qualities, you know, the nurturing side, the always checking on you, making sure everybody's okay, worrying about others over yourself. I mean, that was dope to me. But I remember, you remember when the first time you were at my house and we were there. The first time you were at my house, and I just remember having had a conversation with my friends, maybe that weekend before or something like that, where I was like, one of my homeboys in his marriage always complained about. There's times when we, especially as black men, we go out into the world and we're beat down every day. Whether it be simple as the lady on the elevator grabbing her purse and holding it tight, or walking past the car and hearing the car door shut, or again, police getting behind you, what have you. You've seen the news, So life, I own businesses as well. So clients, employees, everybody kind of beating down on you, upset or frustrated, or just taking a part of you, taking a piece of you because you're giving your all. You come home to your safe haven and you want that to be your safe haven. You want to be recharged and rebuilt. And, as simple as a head rub or a back rub or a pat on the day or how was your day or, I see you, I feel you. And the head rub thing is big to us. So it's like, yeah, you just want your head rubbed or just, barely. And I remember being the first time you were at my house and you were like, oh, I think I asked you, could I lay in your lap? Or you were like, you want to lay in my lap? And I was like, yeah. And I laid down and she just started rubbing my head. And I was...
Listen,
I jumped up and I was like, wait.
It is a natural thing for me to, if somebody's laying on you, automatically you think like, okay, rub their head or do something, touch them, something.
Not all women have a natural instinct for that. And ladies, if you're paying attention, key, ding, 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 a lot of guys, that goes a long way.
Jumped up out my lap and asked me like, what are you doing? I'm like, huh?
I think I even said, who told you to do that?
He was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, you don't like people touching you? Because, you have people that don't like people touching their head or touching their hair. So it's like, what, you don't like? And he was like, no, who told you to do that? And I'm like, what you mean, who told
I started
you to
getting
do
paranoid,
that?
people. I started thinking, did she overhear my conversation? Was I on the phone? Did I not hang up my phone when I was talking to my boys? I'm like, what is she doing? How did she get this? And it's funny because even before then, I was talking about hashtag teen single, not trying to get into anything, whatever. And that moment when she did that, I think I said, I take back everything I said.
Yeah, and when you said that, I was like, what you mean you take back everything? Like, you don't want us to be, not put a label, or you don't want what? And he's like, oh, I take back everything. And
no, she thought I was like done with her or whatever when I said I take back everything. She was like, what do you mean? You don't want to be around me, or you don't want like the compliments? Whatever. She thought I was done, and I was like, no. I mean, I just take back everything I was saying about...
This man was telling me he want to be with me. I'm sorry, continue.
Anyway.
Anywho.
It's just funny. So, long story short, ladies, rub your man's head or try to do anything. Fellas, same thing. Grab a foot, rub a foot after a long day. Make sure they're all right. Just see the person. The biggest thing is see the person.
Yeah.
Just coming home or just being there doesn't count. See that person. You don't know what they went through in that day. Again, there's times, I've been stopped so many times by officers or whatever because I'm driving while black. So, just the frustration of that, the frustrations of day in and day out at the job, managers, businesses, whatever. If your manager's riding you or something like that, and, you just want to be seen and heard and rebuilt at home. Oftentimes, guys are the providers and that kind of stuff. We go out, we try to kill it, drag it home, put it on the table. That appreciation, a simple gesture of that, head rub or shoulder rub or I see you goes a long way. So.
Yeah, and vice versa too, because.
And the way that she crawled like a spider so fast, that was just. When the gunshots went off that time,
I
was like, ooh, her fight or flight is awesome.
Listen.
I want that.
That's not true.
But no, all in all, people, like, subscribe, find us on YouTube, The Right Blend. Again, I'm Mr. Right for Life on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm Paul Wright Facebook.
Denise Wright on Facebook and Mrs. Wright _ for life on Instagram.
And tell us about your comments below. Drop a comment below. You know, fellas, do you like your head rub?
Or
And,
no.
and ladies, you know, what do you guys like? Is it more of a foot rub? Is it, you know, a hot bath? Is it a show? And again, you can't really hot bath every day of the week, so
Mine
something
is
simple.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Well, we'll get into that in another
Like, talk to me nice.
another discussion.
Talk to me nicely.
Bye, everybody.